Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1973-76 Carryover League, another opening day in the National League. Classic baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And strangely enough, this has not been happy times for these bedrock foundations of the National League. My goodness, folks. Gas House Gang, Stan Musial and all that. Dodgers, Jackie Robinson, the whole, Duke Snyder, the whole Sandy Koufax. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing. These two teams finished in last place a year ago. What happened? What went wrong? How did it go so poorly? Well, in the case of the Cardinals, we'll start with them. They're in a division with the Big Red Machine, the Pirates, and the Cubs, who are really good. And they're like the little bird that gets kicked out of the nest. Someone has to get beat up on within a division, and it's them. In the case of the Dodgers, they've just sort of mismanaged their roster to a Giants team who looks daunting, and the Astros and the Padres aren't going away either. So there's not much separation out west. And I don't know if the Garvey, Lopes, Say, Russell, Say, Yeager, Buckner, Davis, Crawford, Dodgers are really all that great anyway. So, yeah, I mean, the pitching, Sutton and so forth is fantastic, but I don't really know if the Dodgers are really that great until at least the late 70s. But in any event, Cardinals in the offseason, they attacked this a different way. They improved 4 players, which is might be a record for internal improvement, and they had to go find 4 undrafted free agents after the draft was over. So they put Bob Forsch, the top of the staff, on 3 days rest. They put Big McBride into his best card of 76, hitting .330. Mike Tyson's got a really nice 2 at second base card where he's hitting .290 with a bunch of extra base hits. We might see that card today. Joe Torre made him a 2 first baseman his last year before they switched to Keith Hernandez. So that's what they've been doing. Trying to make small strides in that division. Dodgers just keep running it back, hoping for a different result, and just replacing their bench players year in and year out. That's about it. They got all left-handed outfielders. They got all right-handed everything else. So somehow on their bench, they added Frank Baker, Horace Clarke, and Biff Pogoroba. And somehow that is supposed to change their fortunes. We just draft what they need compared to what everybody else wants. And so, yeah, I guess the Dodgers just think that they're going to keep running this thing back until they get the result they want. So that's where we are on opening day in Chavez Ravine in L.A. Great matchup for the Cardinals. It's going to be Bob Forsch. He's moved into his 75 card with a 2.86 ERA and a 15-game winner in 230 innings. And the Dodgers, of course, have moved Don Sutton. We finally exhausted the 72 card, had 4 wonderful years with it. Now he's in his 73 year, 18-game winner, 243 ERA and 256 innings. Cardinals, Dodgers, serious baseball here, folks. We can't have another terrible year. And the team that loses this series is going to start feeling it from its fan base. I guarantee you that. Leading for the Cardinals, now the DH, because we have universal DH, is Lou Brock. Got him out of left field. That's good. 68 pops to third. Batting second, Tommy Harper. He's the new left fielder that they went out and got in a trade. And he also is a double-A stealer. Brock's a triple-A stealer. But you can't steal first base, as I like to say. 34, Tommy Harper flies to center. And with 2 outs, it's Big McBride. 1-6. Let's take a look at McBride. So yeah, this is what they did. They said, hey, we got to have somebody to hang our hat on. And yeah, 335 McBride in 1976, career high batting average. They also boast Ted Simmons in the 332 average bracket. Reggie Smith's hitting 303. I mean, they got some really nice sticks here. Lou Brock's still hitting 306. Tommy Harper. But McBride, yep, this is the card that in the 3-hole in center field, they hope will have a big year. 1-6, triple on a 14. It's a 2-base hit. And your cleanup hitter, Reggie Smith, who was their team MVP a year ago, he didn't slump while everybody else did. 56 flies to right. Bottom of the first. Dodgers are sort of just drawing up the lineup that Baseball Reference went with. Davey Lopes leading off. Here we go. 67 is a fly to left. Bill Buckner, 54. Triple 1 to 9 is a base hit. Ace Steeler. Simmons has a +1 arm. He's going to take off. And he's in there on a stolen base. Got to be aggressive this year for the Dodgers. Speed. Always are a quick team. Number 3 hitter, your 1974 MVP, Steve Garvey. 56, base hit to center field. Here comes Buckner. Taking on the +1 arm of McBride. He should score. And he, wait a minute. 16, no. He gets thrown out at the plate on an 18. So you could be incredibly unlucky, too. As, you know, it seems to happen to these star-crossed teams. Cleanup hitter, Jim Wynn. 46 is a walk. 2 on, 2 outs for Willie Crawford. 66, another single. Can we run somebody? Can we run Garvey now off the +1 arm and see what happens? Garvey, 13, 14, 15, +1 is 16, and no! So 2 guys with 80% chances just got thrown out at the plate. In the same inning, the Dodgers get a fly out, 3 singles and a walk, and their inning's over. And you gotta be sweating this if you're Cardinals or Dodgers fans. It's more of the same so far. Ted Simmons, 5'10", walks. Joe Torre, 6'11", first X. This should be double play Garvey. He's a 1E7. And he turns double play. Mike Tyson. Let's take a look at this card. Mike Tyson, interesting card. 2 second basemen with a 286 batting average and 245 plate appearances. Looking carefully at this card, he's got power against lefties, a homer of 10 on 5, which is nice. Against righties, look at the extra base hits and look at the triples. Triple on 7 and 7, triple 1 to 6 double, homer double. That's because a high concentration of triples, 9 of them in 245 at-bats. It's as if he's Vince Coleman or something. I don't know. But yeah, you kind of want that extra base ability in your team. RBI ability, at least. Mike Tyson, 4'10", third X, Ron Say, 2E19, makes the play. Bottom of the second inning, and here is Ron Say. Turn of the double play there. 63, pitcher X, Forsh, E6. Can do it all in only his second year in the game, except make an error there. Willie Davis, 67 is a pop to short. Bill Russell, 68, flies to right. And with 2 outs, Steve Yeager, 6'10", center X. Well, he tried running the first thing. It didn't go anywhere. They just decided to not take any advantages of, and they get nothing again. I somehow dread Dodger and Cardinal games for this very reason. And when they're actually playing each other, it's even more of a paint a pretty face on this thing. I don't know what's going on. Mike Phillips, 67 is a K. Ken Reitz, 211, pops to short. Lou Brock, 1-4, flies to right field. Well, let's call it the Don Sutton. He's doing what Don Sutton does. Been an outstanding pitcher. He is on the Mount Rushmore of pitchers in my timeline of 1969 and 1984. Has a card in every one of those years. Amazing news there. Bottom of the third, Davey Lopes. 59, rolls to second. Bill Buckner, 67, pops to short. And Steve Garvey, 1-6, is a grounded to short. Into the fourth. Tommy Harper, 68, fly ball to right. Bate McBride, 1-4, fly ball to right. Reggie Smith, 2-3, rolls third base. Bottom of the fourth. Jim Wynn, 38, Oh, he's a walk. B. Steeler, oh boy. Let's not run out of this yet. Willie Crawford, 46, single 1 of 10. Nope, he gets it. 2 on. And it's Ron Say. 47's a strikeout. Willie Davis, 35. And let's take a look at Willie Davis. Really nice card for him in 73 because he had 16 homers and 29 doubles, 9 triples. 285 average. Really started to start muscling up and jacking things. It was not really much of a singles hitter here. There are homers, triples, and doubles on this card. Great card for Willie. 73 would be his last year with the Dodgers before the Mike Marshall trade. Actually have both of them. So that's a boon for the Dodgers. 3-5, triple 1 of 14 is a 2-base hit. Do we want run Willie Crawford against that +1 arm in center field? You just have to keep doing this. And he's throwing. Okay. So Crawford, yep, he's a 16. So that's an 85% chance. So he just missed an 80, and an 85% chance to score a run and have had our third man thrown out at the plate by the +1 arm of Bate McBride. So in recasting the arms, Bate McBride's the new Cesar Geronimo of the National League. It's not +1, it should be -5, I guess. All right, 2 outs, runner at second, in a 1-0 game. Here's Bill Russell, 45, pops to first. And just Dodgers are not going to run anymore today, and see what happens. Ted Simmons, 311, ground ball to second. Joe Torre, 38, base hit. Mike Tyson, 4-4. Homer 1 of 13. That is going to be a single. The power's against lefties, not against righties. On the corners, infield come up. Mike Phillips, 1-7 strikes out. And Ken Reitz, 211, pops a short. Mostly these teams have just done dysfunctional stuff throughout this game. Putting guys on, not scoring them. Bad base running. Let's just prop up Sutton and Forsch while they're pitching so well. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, here's Steve Yeager. 37, single 1 of 13, gets it. Davey Lopes, 56, base hit center field. Yeager stays at second. Bill Buckner, 37, flies to center field. Steve Garvey, 58, short X. Shortstop is a 3E48. That's going to be a single. Loaded for Jim Wynn. They'll play back, looking for a double play. 1-4. Center B question mark. Nah, actually, sorry. You're not tagging up on Bate McBride anymore. That's just not going to happen. 32, grounds to first. You get nothing. That's sorry, Dodgers. Should have made one of those 80-85% chances. Lou Brock, 36, is a walk. He'll steal a base. Triple A. This is going to be close. He's out. Guess you got to be a quadruple A to get to 118 stolen bases for the dysfunctional Cardinals and Dodgers. Tommy Harper, 1-4, grounds to short. And Bate McBride, 1-3, grounds to first. Must be a mutter. Must be a muddy track in soggy LA as none of the base runners or base stealers are doing anything today. Ronce, 1-3, ground to short. Hit it over the wall. Hit home runs. Willie Davis, 37, single 1 of 14, gets it. He's been on twice. B. Steeler, no thanks. Bill Russell, 54. Home run. He's got power. Holy smokes. We have a story. Bill, let's take a look at the card. In a somewhat shocking surprise, 1976, Bill Russell hit 5 home runs and 580 plate appearances, and all but one of those were against right-handed pitching, so they gave him power. And Bob Forsch has a power home run on 5-4, and the Dodgers convert 3-0. Steve Yeager, 311, grounds to third. Back up top, Davey Lopes, 1-7. Homer, 1-6. No, he misses it. But he's trying. He understands the rules. Over the wall. We're not going to hit singles and try and steal bases. Over the wall. Maybe this is that breaking point with the Dodgers when they realize, hey, we are not going to get past the Cincinnati Reds out west with this banjo offense. We have got to get sluggers like Reggie Smith and Dusty Baker and maybe Rick Monday. And, just start whacking the ball over the fence, This Wes Parker stuff they used to have and Tommy Davis stuff they used to have, it doesn't work. Into the 7th, 3-0. Sutton holding up his end of the bargain on opening day. It's Reggie Smith, coveted by the Dodgers, playing with the Cardinals with a Boston Red Sox card of 1973. Kind of funny. 57, that's strikeout. Simba, Ted Simmons, 211, pops to second base. And Joe Torre, 2-8, he's on twice. And Mike Tyson, 1-8 is a K. He's a 3-5. Stretch time here in LA. We are enjoying the wonderful Pretzel-Logic LP of 1974. You see this cover and you're thinking, oh, this is Steely Dan. They were from, Brooklyn, whatever, and then they moved to LA. No, the whole thing was done in LA. They just met in New York. So, yeah, that's not obviously Los Angeles. But, yeah, this record was recorded in 74. Ricky, don't lose that number. Any Major Dude will tell you. I love that one. One of my favorites. Great stuff from Becker, rest in peace, sadly, and Mr. Dan himself, Fagan. Okay. Bottom of the 7th. Force will continue. 3 runs allowed. His center fielder, his howitzer, has kept the game close. It's Bill Buckner. 67, pops to short. Steve Garvey, 1-9, grounds short. And Jim Wynn, 68, finds the center field. We go to the 8th inning. Can we improve the Dodger defense? Nope. It's all there. Frankly, the Dodgers just don't even want to have a bench. It's Yeager, Garvey, Lopes, Russell, Buckner, Crawford, Davis, and pray for rain. And I mean, they're just running it all year long. Mike Phillips, 1-7 is a K. Ken Reitz, 2-6, grounds a third. And Lou Brock, 1-8 is a K. Don Sutton delivering the goods again. Like I said, I'll say it again. I'll always say it when he's pitching. Arguably the greatest pitcher in the carryover league for the entirety 16 years. He's up there with Lefty and Tom Seaver. They're the big three. Plus Jim Palmer, who didn't... Well, he has a card in 84. He also had an injury, I think, in 1973. But yeah, I think Sutton, I don't think he has a lousy year in there. If you know a bad Don Sutton year between 69 and 84, let me know if there's a bad one. Now, when he went to Milwaukee, he had a couple years with an inflated ERA. And again, late in his career, his ERA was up. But my goodness. Bob Force, I'll leave you in there, buddy. You've been pitching well. 2 mistakes. Willie Crawford. And the Dodgers aren't going to run anymore. So 3-6 is a walk. B Steeler. He'll stay there at first. Ron Say, 48, second X. This should be a double play. Was he a 2E27? No, it's a single. 2-1 for Willie Davis, who's been on twice. 2-6. That's a 6-4-3 double play. In lieu of all the extra iron Willie's been pumping at the plate, his legs have slowed down a little bit. Has a lot of double plays on the card. And with 2 outs, man at third, it's Bill Russell. Rolls to second base. We go to 9th. Sutton wants to complete what he starts. Looking for the CGSO. He has 4 hits, a double, and 3 singles into the 9th. It's Tommy Harper. 49, you can't steal first base. He strikes out. 0 for 8. 0 for 7 plus a walk. The top 2 base stealers with 158 for Harper, so that makes it 172 stolen bases out of your top 2 hitters. Bake McBride, 1-9, there's a base hit. Reggie Smith, 48, is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, it's Ted Simmons, 1-7 there. Let's take a look at the Simba card. Yes, lost out on the batting title by to a point to, I forget who in 75. 332. His best batting average ever. 18 home runs, 32 doubles for Simba. Also just 35 strikeouts. Remember that era, folks? When your stars didn't strike out so much? Ted Simmons, 1-7, double 1 is a single. And your tie run with 2 outs is Joe Torre. Let's take a look at the card because he's been on twice with 2 hits. This is a nice card for Torre. He is a Cardinal in 74 with this card of 282 and 11 home runs. I think next year he'll end up with the Mets. But for now, that's it. Particularly against right-handed pitching, that's a lot of power. On his card, has power. Chance to tie this with 1 swing. Here's the pitch to the legend, Joe Torre. 39 is going to be a base hit, ... Couple things. Puts the Cardinals on the board, puts the tie run at first base, and puts Sutton at the point of weakness. And I think we're going to pull him out and out shy. It's a move that I don't normally like to make, but the logic says you just got to do this. Pull him out so he can't take a loss. He's at the point of weakness. You have Jim Brewer and Mike Marshall. You've got one of the deepest bullpens ever assembled. Mike Marshall's 200 innings. He's supposed to be brought in now, though Jim Brewer might be better. Stan Wall, Charlie Huff also relief threes. So, again, as far as roster composition, you've got one of the deepest bullpens we've ever seen for a pitching staff that already pitches deep into games. So it's overkill. I mean, Sutton's a starter 9. Messersmith's a starter 8. You don't need all of this incredible relief pitching, but you have it. Better use it. Don't blow any saves this year. I will go Marshall. I'd rather go Jim Brewer, but I will go Marshall because he threw 208 innings in 1974. So here he is, Mike Marshall. 208 innings out of the bullpen in 1974, MVP. He finished 82 games. So most of the time, he has to come in, regardless of what's going on. So he's in now. And how many wins and losses did he have? He won 15, he lost 12. That's not the greatest winning percentage either, but whatever. Here we go. Mike Marshall in the 9th. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And here's the pitch to Mike Tyson. 69, single on a 4. And he cannot convert. That is a line out. And Marshall gets his first save of the year. Well, that's a nice story. Let's get him into the All-Star game and with an appearance in every game and with leading the National League in saves. Assuming the Dodgers have a winning record this year. They should, you'd think, right? So let's get Marshall in the All-Star game to validate that 208 innings pitched. So that is your game, folks. The Dodgers hold on to a 3-1 win. Sutton with the win, Marshall with the save, Bob Forsch, tough loss in his first start at the top of the rotation on 3 days rest. Game 2, it'll be Bob Gibson against Andy Messersmith. Then when we go to St. Louis, Tommy John, John Curtis in a battle of lefties. And then Game 4, an intriguing pitching matchup. Both organizations went elsewhere. St. Louis found Jackie Brown loitering in the Texas farm system, and the Dodgers found Joe Decker stuck in the Minnesota Twins farm system, and they plucked each of those guys to their teams respectively. So it should be a fun, interesting series here. We'll give you the results coming up, so stay tuned. All right, baseball fans, we'll give you the results of this series between the Cardinals and Dodgers. The game 1, Sutton 8 2/3, 7 hits a run, and Marshall gets the final out. 3-1 victory. Bob Forsch did give up 11 hits, 3 runs in his 8 innings. Let's move on. Game 2 in LA. Hey, 3-2 Dodgers win this one in extras. They need a walk-off to do it. It was a walk-off off of, wrong game. 2-1 Dodgers in this one. They get a RBI single by Horace Clarke getting a start, rotating their bench players in. An RBI single by Buckner. All the Cardinals could do is get 1 run off of Andy Messersmith. Not a lot of offense. Good pitching in this series. 2-1, Dodgers win. They go up 2-0. So the Dodgers have an opportunity to get a 3-game sweep, and the Cardinals could predictably, possibly see the writing on the wall and realize this is going to be a hard year. But what happens when we go to St. Louis? Do we have some resiliency from the Redbirds? The answer is yes, we do get some resiliency. Another close game between 2 teams who are close to each other, for where that's worth. John Curtis and Tommy John, the visitors, the Dodgers, get a solo homer, Willie Davis. Cardinals tied in the 5th, RBI single, Joe Torre, who was really hot. He started 6 for 13. And then John Curtis excuse me, not John Curtis. Tommy John has some problems with his defense in the 5th inning. After singling a walk, ground ball double play to Steve Garvey. No, he kicks it for an error. Ground ball double play to Ron Say. No, he kicks it for another error. That makes it 4-1. They add on a run in the 8th, and the Cardinals win 5-3. So let's go to Game 4 now in St. Louis. And this is the outlier game we noticed between Joe Decker and Jackie Brown. These were free agents brought in. What was going to happen? 8-0 final. So Cardinals, Jackie Brown, oh yeah. They signed this guy. He throws a 4-hit shutout for the Cardinals. He's the number 4 starter. Arguably the worst pitcher on the team. Just a 4-hit shutout of the lowly Dodgers with 2 walks and 7 Ks. Meanwhile, former Twin Joe Decker, having some trouble. By the way, Steve Yeager, he sat today, so Pocoroba got to start catching because they wanted to give Yeager a day off. And the base-running Cardinals, of course, stole the pants off in the 1st. Lou Brock stolen base, goes to third on a throw. They bring the infield up. He gets gunned down at the plate, but Tommy Harper steals a base anyway and scores. Big McBride steals a base. He gets gunned down. Running, successful, unsuccessful, yada yada, blah blah blah. These 2 teams just do not register, folks. They just don't clock in for me. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Cardinals embarrass the Dodgers, who embarrass the Cardinals. Law of attrition, we have to play 5 games between these 2 squads. Back in LA, and poor Don Sutton, well, I don't know why it's poor Don Sutton. He pitched 10 innings. He only gave up 2 runs, couldn't get a win. This thing went 11 just to belabor me even longer. Thankfully, Ron Say decides to hit a 2-out double in the bottom of the 11th inning to end the series, beating Frank Lindsay. Mike Marshall gets a win. Hey, if you're counting, folks, the Mike Marshall experiment seems to be working. So that is a bright historical note. Let's go look at some stats as the Dodgers win this series 3-2. By the way, the home team won every game. I always say you need road wins in Strat to prove your worth. Right now it's 0 worth for these 2 teams with no road wins. So Mike Marshall, a win and 2 saves in 5 games for the Dodgers. 2 1/3 scoreless innings. That seems even better than the Marshall performance of 74. So that's good. Offensively for the Dodgers, they're hitting .240 with a .220 ERA. Cardinals, other hand, bright spot probably, Joe Torre, 8 for 17. Big McBride, 8 for 15, some big hits in the series. Cardinals have combined for 1 home run in 5 games. They're hitting .236 with a .201 ERA. They have 3 complete games by Bob Forsch, Bob Gibson, and confusingly, Jackie Brown. Al Hrabowski has not pitched. You're throwing complete games, so there's no reason for Al Hrabowski to pitch. Had they gotten a lead late in those extra inning losses, he would have come in to slam down the door for a save. But again, that would have required a road victory. The Cardinals could not get a road victory as the Dodgers had home field advantage. Not a lot you could do. That's the way the schedule fell to the Cardinals. They didn't have home field. So that's a long way of saying, I guess you can break up the Dodgers. They completed the series of 5 games and didn't lose at home. They win this series 3-2. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.